Hello everyone, I'm Charlie Danis of Capital Athletics. This is a special Periscope presentation on Capital Athletics, and joining me now, sophomore linebacker Derek Eibon. Derek, you're originally from Amherst, Ohio, up in the northeast corridor of the state, so tell me, why football?
Well, growing up I actually played soccer, and the funniest thing was I'd play indoor soccer, and I'd always kind of hit kids against the walls. So
you've always wanted to crack some heads.
I've always wanted to hit somebody. So, and then I watched my brothers growing up and playing, and football was always a big part of my family, so it just kind of rubbed off on me. And then once I hit 10, I was like, okay, Dad, soccer's done. It's time to go play CYO football. So
the natural progression was play linebacker.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just kind of how I fell into where I am now. So
I gotta ask, who's your favorite linebacker?
Oh man, I'd probably have to say AJ Hawk. Growing up, I always had the 47 jersey. Was always watching him. I still have a poster of him in my room when he played for Green Bay, even though he doesn't play for him anymore. So definitely has to be AJ Hawk.
So talk to me about the high school football up in Northeast Ohio. It's the best not only in the state, but also in arguably the entire country. A lot of competitive teams out there. How competitive is it?
It's really competitive. Growing up sophomore, junior, senior, I played against a ton of D1 athletes, and it helped me out here. And it's, Northeast football it's pretty tough. It's legit. So a lot of D1 athletes, a lot of guys going to Ohio State now from there, and it's always competitive, no matter what the situation is.
We're talking with sophomore linebacker Derek Eibon on this special Periscope edition on Capital Athletics. So Derek, you decided to take your collegiate talents here to Capital. What brought you here to Bexley?
I wasn't really sure if I wanted to play college football, honestly. And, going into my senior year, I started looking around and looking at some camps. And Capital was actually the first camp that showed up on my email list. So I came and I loved the coaches, loved what they were preaching, and loved their message. And, other schools contacted me, but I felt like this was the home for me. It just felt like Columbus, being in this area, being around what my opportunities are here after football also. And I just love that. I love the campus. It's great.
One of the position areas coming into the season that was a little bit of a question mark. Your position, the linebacking core. It's a young group, but it's a hard-working group. Coach Candido has been talking to me about the work ethic that you guys have. How important is work ethic, not just as a linebacker, but as a football player?
As a football player in whole, it's key. Preparation is key to anything. You could go out there, you can be an absolute athlete, but if you don't know what the offense is doing, you could end up on your back on a touchdown right by you. So honestly, I think the work ethic part of it is huge, and what we tried to preach this year, especially being with our young group. We'd be meeting 2 hours after practice during camp. Just getting the formations down, getting the plays down. But honestly, being an athlete obviously is a huge part of the game. But a lot of it, I say like 90% of it's mental, 10% is physical. It's a lot of it's in your head.
Obviously, the hits are really, really fun, but besides that, what's the most fun being a linebacker?
I like to call myself, when I play Mike linebacker, I like to call myself quarterback of the defense, The safeties are making their checks and everything, but, it almost comes inside out from the linebacker spot there. And I think, we set the front, we set the defense, and I feel like we're the vocal point of the defense. And I feel like if we make a big play, everybody feeds off our energy. Whereas, a safety makes a play, a defensive lineman makes a play, everybody feeds off it. I feel like the linebacker spot, though, is that main spot on the defense that kind of people can feed off of.
In recent years, there has been a strike zone put together of where you can hit a ball carrier. Gone are the days of the bone-crushing hits of Dick Nitrain Lane and Dick Butkus, just to name a few players here and there. Is it frustrating as a defensive player nowadays where I want to be able to make the big hit, but I don't want to get penalized for it?
It is a little bit, but, when you're in the heat of the moment, you're running, you're not really thinking about it. If somebody's coming across the middle, you're looking for that ball. Yeah, you want to have that kill shot, that ooh shot that everybody goes crazy about. But honestly, if you're looking at the ball, you'll keep that hit pretty cleanly. And but yeah, it is a little bit frustrating because those are the hits you dream about growing up, and so yeah.
So I'm going to give you an opportunity to puff out your chest a little bit and talk a little bit about the linebacking core. Besides you, who are other players that we have to watch out for in this linebacking core in 2015?
Tim Seifert, another linebacker. He's also another sophomore. He's doing great, and he's been working hard. Also, Chris Lee and Sean Fascione are two other linebackers that we all worked with. We went through spring ball together. We were only the only linebackers in spring ball. And, us four are really the focal point of this linebacking core, with a few young guys getting some reps here and there. But I think Chris, Sean, and Tim are also key to watch during the season.
So Derek, you open the season against a Wittenberg squad ranked 16th in the country. Tough loss, 38-27 to the Tigers. But there were a lot of positives to take away from this game. The offense was moving the ball. The defense came out with some great intensity. I know that you guys struggled against the pass, but you were able to force a couple turnovers, try to keep the team in the game. What did you ultimately take away in that game against the Tigers?
You know, you never want to say that there's a positive side to the loss in the game. But,
No moral victories.
No moral victories, exactly. But honestly, you know, we came together as a group, and, you know, we were down 35-6 at one point, you know. A lot of teams would have shut down. And, you know, we kept fighting, and I think that's what's key with our team. We keep fighting, and honestly, we put ourselves in the right position to make the plays. I think we just have to execute and finish them. So I think that was a big part of this week is working on finishing, you know. And but there's a lot of positive things from that. We definitely have grown as a team.
Derek, let me ask you this. A weird bye week, weird from a timing sense. Obviously, you're going to take a bye week just to get healthy, but your thoughts on the bye week coming in the second week of the season? Again, it's just really odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really odd. You know, you typically think of a bye week, you know, week 5, you kind of get halfway through the season. We work on getting healthy and work on fixing the little things. But, you know, it's kind of a good thing. I see it as a good thing, too, because, you know, the little things that we didn't finish in Wittenberg, we can now work on to finish against Wilmington. Because, you know, Wittenberg's a good team. They're a playoff team. And, you know, we put ourselves in the position to win that game, but we didn't finish. So I think this bye week will help us be able to finish those plays that we didn't finish during the Wittenberg game and ultimately help us out throughout the season.
So let's now talk about your next opponent, Wilmington. They're coming off of a big win against Bluffton in week 1. This team has struggled in recent years, but as I talked about with Coach Candido, they got themselves athletes, particularly on offense. So what concerns you the most heading into this matchup with Wilmington?
You know, they're athletes across the board. They're big, tall. I think one receiver's 6'7", one receiver's 6'6". So, you know, obviously you can't teach height. And, you know, obviously we're a little short on the DB side, but, you know, our guys are fighting. And, you know what, I think if we have good technique and, honestly, if we just play sound football, I think we'll be okay. I'm not really nervous about their athletes as much as just we need to just make our plays when the opportunity is presented to us, which I know we can do.
We're talking with sophomore linebacker Derek Eibon here on athletics.capital.edu. So, Derek, now we get to the point in the interview where I talk about you as the student athlete. So, what are you studying? What do you plan on doing after football?
I'm actually a biology pre-med major.
Ooh!
So,
okay,
yeah.
so you have some brain power up there.
Yeah, I got
All
some
right.
brains up here, but I actually plan on being an optometrist.
Really?
As of right now, yeah, either working up back in the Cleveland area or hoping to stay down here in the Columbus area.
For those not familiar with that position, what is an optometrist?
It's an eye doctor, you know, just prescriptions, normal checkups, the usual kind of, not as serious eye diseases, but things of such of that nature.
So why do you want to help out with people's eyes in the future?
It's just so key, you know. My uncle's an optometrist, and so is my aunt, and honestly, I've job shadowed them, and I've never seen them mad. And if you're not mad, you never work a day in your life. So I think I enjoy helping people. I enjoy being a positive influence on society. So.
Well, there you go. You get to continue on the family name a little bit, but until then, you'll crack some heads here at Capital and continue to deliver big hits to the linebacker position. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
That was sophomore linebacker Derek Eibon joining us here on athletics.capital.edu. For Capital Athletics, I'm Charlie Danis. We'll see you next time.